Good morning. I had a fairly decent night's rest at Peck's Corner shelter. There were maybe six or seven men and one other woman. Well, she was like 22, but there were mice scurrying, so that's the one downside of the shelter and not being inside my tent where I can seal myself in. As long as I make sure my zipper is closed all the way. I guess there's always a chance a mouse would nibble through my tent if he smelled something, but as long as all food is hanging on the bare cable and I zip my tent, I don't have to worry about those little furry creatures. But they were scampering to and across my sleeping bag. I had to just brush them off, but it's not so bothersome unless it's on my face, but it didn't happen. But that's where I'm always got one eye open, so it usually prevents me from getting a good night's sleep, worrying that they're going to scamper on my face or get in my sleeping bag. Ah, you'll hear me scream. But that didn't happen last night. They just one bounced off my chest and one down by my feet. But they were all over inside the walls and stuff. Ah. So as I said before, that's one reason I want to get out of the Smokies. It's so beautiful, but I want to sleep in my tent, and that's not allowed here, so whatever. I just have a short day today, 5 miles to Tri-Corner shelter, because the next one, it would either be 5 miles or 20 miles. So I opted just to do 5 miles today, and then I have to do 15 tomorrow, which will be the highest mileage day for me so far. I'm worried about that, so I'm just going to walk slow, since it's only 5 miles, no need to rush. I'm just going to meander, make my way to the next shelter, and really pamper my foot, because it hurt by the end of the day yesterday. And it is fractured, it's going to hurt every day. It's not going to just get better. So I just have to live with it. I'm not complaining, I'm just stating a fact. We'll see, my shoulder feels better. I packed my backpack differently and put my food bag, which is the heaviest right now, lower in my pack than usual. And that meant I put my sleeping bag at the top, so if it rains, I don't like that, as even with the rain cover, it's not foolproof. I have a contractor bag in there, but still, I'll see. Hopefully that will just bring the weight down lower on my back and not hurt my shoulder, as that was a fairly new issue yesterday, having that hurt so much. But it's a beautiful morning. Oh, just as I look up to the left, I got a pretty view. So within 5 minutes of walking, I am greeted by that view and the birds calling. See if you can listen. The only thing is I can't see them, so I don't know what they look like. I don't see many of them, just a few here and there. Okay, walking. When I got to the shelter last night, there were 2 men that had been there since noon, as they were heading southbound, and they had the same issue as I have today, where they had to choose between 5 miles to this shelter or, I don't know, 15 or 20 or whatever, somewhere to the next one that they would have wanted. So when I got there, they had a fire going. It was already swept up and waiting, so it was nice. There was a fire in the fireplace, and I had sacrificed, and it wasn't a sacrifice, some weight, and opted to bring a small box of wine. It's just like 2.5 or 3 cups or glasses worth. And knowing that after a hard day, just a few sips, even a half a glass, just brings me joy. So I did bring that extra weight. So when I arrived, and the fire was in the fireplace, and there were at least 6 people there already when I thought I was going to be alone. And I had brought my stove back, so I'm cooking again. So it was nice. I had a hot meal, a glass of wine by the fireplace, and had company. So it turned out to be a lovely evening. And that may have helped me sleep a little bit, even though I had to sleep with one eye open, watching for those mice. Whew. 83 bottles of beer on the wall, 83 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around. 82 bottles of beer on the wall. Looks like I might be coming up on a view here, so I thought I'd turn the phone on before I get there. I'll turn my camera on before I get there. Yep. There, you get to enjoy this with me. Purdy. Good morning, mountains. I think it's about 9:15 a.m. I've just been walking about 15 minutes or so. Something very unusual just happened. I just passed someone. Two older men, probably in their 60s, maybe hitting 70. And I passed them, so woohoo! I think that was, if it wasn't the first time, it's very rare, that's for sure, that I passed somebody. But I think I didn't really calculate when I first started. Maybe I'll have to go back in my videos and log and see what my speed was at the beginning when I started on day 1, 2, 3, and see how many miles an hour I was hiking. As right now, I'm averaging 1.5, 1.6. And I do think that's slower than most hikers, but I haven't got my trail legs yet, but it's also a great improvement from when I started. So I will give myself credit for that. I may not be the fastest, but I think another couple weeks I should get my trail legs, as I've had to take a lot of breaks, as you know. So just when I start getting strong, I take a break. I see these all the time. U.S. Department of Interior, these geological surveys. And it's, I don't know what it's marking, but oh, prettiness. Anywho, yeah, about 1.5 miles an hour. If it's not a big climb, then it's usually 1.6. Once I did 2 miles in about 45 minutes, which for hiking is good. But that was once or twice. And that's only if it's flat, I guess. I don't know. I'll pay more attention to that. But today I only have, I think, 5 miles, so I'm purposely walking slow and meandering and babying my foot. And when I get to the shelter, I'll prop it up, put my water filter on it, because that doubles as a cold compress, and just stay off my foot today. Give it a little bit of TLC because I have 15 miles tomorrow. That scares me. And another one. Short hiking day, only 5 miles, because as I explained, the next shelter would have meant a 20-mile day. So even though it's only 5 miles, a month ago I would have called that a decent day. So these blazes here mark a crossroads. It just means there's either a crossroad or a turnoff. And since the top blaze is to the left, which isn't always the case, it's not so obvious, but it should be. So since it's to the left, it means that's the way I should go. And then I see the sign, tri-corner shelter is to the right. So if I were continuing on the AT, I would go off to the left, which is where I'll go in the morning. Ew, immediate up in the morning. Oh wait, horse hitchback, 500 feet. Anyway, tri-corner shelter is to the right, and that's where I'm going for now.